Revelation chapter 21, the cowardly, unbelieving, abominable, murderers, sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. It's important that we understand the truth. You've got to hear the truth, that God is not going to put up with some things. You need to understand that you can't just keep going and living your flagrant, sinful life. There must be a turning point, a stopping of your sin, and you're turning to God. You're trying to put that behind you. You've got to put it behind you. Cowardly. When you fear the kingdom of darkness, you fear your friend, your neighbor, your family, or you fear your own flesh. Some people that are addicted to stuff, they have to go through a lot of withdrawals to get over it. And you see, when you fear all of that and you're afraid to go through that over the fear of God, you are cowardly. That's what God is saying here. And I don't want to be that way. You've got to have some courage, and Christ will give you that courage to stand up against the kingdom of darkness, against the message of the world and your own flesh. His mercy endures forever. There is a Psalm 136, every other sentence says, His mercy endures forever. His mercy endures forever. And it's true. Joel chapter 2:13. Rend your heart, not your garments. Return to the Lord your God, for He is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and He relents from doing harm. David, he murdered somebody, but God forgave him. A lot of people in the Scriptures did horrible things, and God forgave them, and it gave them mercy. It's important to understand that no matter what you've done in your life, Christ, God, has the mercy, the power to forgive you, and is merciful. Amen? But please do not misunderstand or think that His mercy means that He is approving of the behavior. God may be merciful to a lot of people that mock God publicly. They'll mock God and say, "Oh, this," and they'll say it on their shows and their videos, and nothing happens to them, right? And don't confuse His mercy with, His approval. He's not approving of that behavior. He's going to have to hold them accountable, and He's going to bring His word to them, and if they keep rejecting it and refusing it, they're going to pay a price. Because He is merciful. Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. Do not fear those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul, but rather Him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. We must at some point get the fear of God back into us. That's what a lot of this scriptures are about, getting His fear back into us. I don't want to live a life that brings shame on the name of God. I don't want to live a life where I am defiling the temple that He has given me. Every person on this planet, that body belongs to God. It breathes because of God. It is the temple of God. And when we defile it, we are rejecting Him. Are not two sparrows sold for a copper coin? Not one of them falls to the ground apart from your Father's will. But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Do not fear, therefore. You are of more value than many sparrows. And what He's saying here is that you don't need to fear the world. You don't need to fear the kingdom of darkness. You don't need to fear your neighbor. You need to fear God above all of that, because He has control of both your body and your what? Wherever it is, your soul, your spirit. So do not fear man who has no control of your soul. Fear God.